There's nothing worse as an operator than going through a quarter relatively well, executing on the production plan, boosting revenue, posting record free cash flow, only for it all to seemingly be for naught. When post-quarter end, you have to cut guidance following a seismic event. It's a story that Alamos Gold knows all too well. After being forced to cut 2025 guidance due to an event at their Hyland gold mine that occurred on October 17th, which has delayed access to higher grade stopes and as a result impacted near-term production forecasts. Let's dive in. If we're being honest, the post-quarter end and seismic event isn't the only thing that went wrong for Alamos as of late. Q3 saw the company post record revenue of $462 million, which was a 28% improvement year over year from the $361 million posted in the third quarter of 2024. But that revenue improvement of 28% follows a 37% improvement in the average realized price of gold on a year-over-year basis, which of course means sales were down on a per ounce basis. They dropped from 145,000 ounces last year to 136,000 ounces this year, a 6% decline. That average price of gold was also below the London PM fixed price, due to 12,346 ounces being sold at $25.24 an ounce in relation to a gold prepayment facility entered into last July. Net earnings improved from $85 million or 20 cents per share to $276 million or 65 cents per share on a year-over-year basis. However, adjusted net earnings improved less dramatically, climbing from $78 million or 19 cents per share in the year-ago period to $156 million or 37 cents per share in Q3 of 2025. Adjusted net earnings were impacted by $192 million net of tax adjustment for a reversal of impairments, as well as a $54 million hedging loss, a $15 million in deferred taxes and foreign exchange loss, and other adjustments of $2.9 million. Cash provided by operating activities, meanwhile, improved from $166 million to $265, while free cash flow improved from $88 million to $130, a 49% improvement and a new record for the company. Alamos Gold ended the quarter with $463 million in cash and cash equivalents, which was up from $345 million at the start of the quarter, while total liquidity stands at $963 million. Alamos Gold will also see a healthy bump to that figure in the fourth quarter, following the $470 million sale of their Turkish development projects for cash consideration, of which $160 million has already been received. The company also sold the Quartz Mountain Gold Project in Oregon, which closed in October, for cash consideration of $21 million, providing further cash to Alamos's balance sheet post-quarter end. Moving to the operations side of things, Alamos Gold in Q3 produced 142,000 ounces of gold in the third quarter, which they highlight as being a 3% improvement over the second quarter of 2025. But production was still down 6.7% on a year-over-year basis from 152,000 ounces. The decline in production was blamed on unplanned downtime at the Magino mill at the end of September, which lasted for a week following the failure of a capacitor at the electrical house. That downtime caused the company to miss the low end of quarterly guidance, which stood at 145,000 ounces. Post-quarter end, repairs were made with the facility now operating as expected. That downtime, however, had the added effect of Alamos Gold turning on their Hyland gold mill to process high-grade ore. That mill is expected to remain operational for the remainder of 2025, providing increased milling capacity for the district while supporting higher gold production, cash flow, and increased profitability. The Hyland Gold Mill will also now be incorporated into an expansion study planned to be completed in the first quarter of 2026. In terms of costing, total cash cost declined from $984 to $973,000 an ounce, while all-in sustaining costs rose from $1,359 to $1,375 an ounce in the third quarter of 2025. The quarter also saw Alamos change reporting methods for costing, with mark-to-market adjustments for share-based compensation no longer being included in the per-ounce figures. As we said in our opener, Alamos Gold has been forced to cut production guidance for 2025, which is the result of a seismic event occurring at the Hyland Gold operation on October 17th, which is said to have delayed access to higher-grade stopes at the mine. Mining activities are said to continue at budgeted rates, but it's more a matter of grades associated with the ore being mined. Combined with that week-long downtime at Magino in September that was unplanned, production for 2025 is expected to come up short of prior guidance, which stood at 560 to 580,000 ounces, with Alamos now expecting 560 to 580,000 ounces of production this year. Q4, meanwhile, is expected to see production of between 157 and 177,000 ounces of gold, which would make Q4 the highest production quarter of the year. Cash costs overall are still expected to be in the $975 to $1,025 an ounce range, while AISC will be in the $1,400 to $1,450 range. Growth capital has been lowered from a range of $422 to $488 million to a range of $362 to $410 million, which had the impact of lower total capex and capitalized expenditures to a range of $539 to $599 million, down from $599 to $669 million. And while no formal free cash flow guidance was provided, Alamos has indicated that they expect strong free cash flow numbers through Q4. Well, the line item will see significant growth beginning in 2026 as a result of higher production levels and lower costing. All right, so let's wrap it up. Truth be told, it wasn't the best quarter for Alamos Gold, and the post-quarter end seismic event certainly didn't help matters. But it's a blip. The company is still generating record cash flows, and production is expected to improve moving forward. You're never going to see consistent, flawless execution by anyone, and well, this is just an example of that because things happen. In any case, we've seen a strong start to Q3 results this week from several big-name operators, which should set up the sector quite well for the remainder of the year. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. If there's stories you want us to cover, as always, let us know in the comments section. We are in the middle of earnings season, so we're going to have lots of earnings videos. Also, just as I film those coming across my desk is the transaction of Core Mining purchasing New Gold. So you're going to see a video on that on our channel shortly. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.